Hello once again and welcome back to the Monday Night Spurs show, live on YouTube every Monday at 9 p.m. Bit different now. We are under a new manager, Mr. Antonio Conte. No more Nuno Espirito Santo. So we didn't get the win yesterday and they're still not on shot on target, but I still feel a lot more optimistic now, looking forward to the rest of the season. Joining me tonight, once again, we've got the loyal Gary. Gary, how you doing, my man?
Yep, all good. Cheers. How are you keeping? You good?
Yeah, all good, all good. Just a quick shout out to Gary before we do get on with the show. Gary does run his own Instagram and Twitter page, Tottenham Mail. So if anyone wants to stay up to date with the latest Tottenham news, give Gary a little follow on Instagram and on Twitter.
Just heads up
on,
on that. I don't really use the Twitter one as much. I'm more active on the Instagram. So, but yeah, I mean, they've all got potential to grow either page. So yeah, if you want to give us a follow on either, I'm more than grateful.
Yeah. So let's start the show off. And of course, we need to talk about Antonio Conte first before we go into the Everton game. When we done the live stream last week, Conte wasn't officially the manager. It was set to be the manager, but now he's officially in charge and he's got 2 games under his belt. How are you feeling under Antonio Conte?
Yeah, chuffed. Really happy with the appointment. I think Conte coming in was the right appointment. Yeah, so I think it should have been done earlier. I think he should have been the manager from the start.
Mm-hmm.
But better late than never, I guess. And I think he's still got time to turn this season around as well. But yeah, I'm really excited about the future of Conte being the Spurs manager there. What about you, Tel?
Yeah, no, I'm really, really excited. It all happened very, very quickly. I mean,
Yeah,
even like the work permit was done pretty quick, and then all of a sudden he's in the dugout for Vitesse. And then as soon as he got announced, I was like, oh crap, I need to get myself a ticket for Vitesse to get a ticket, get down to the lane. So it was really weird to get quite a complete switch in optimism from being negative, almost not wishing the season to be over, because if I was wishing the season over for the same board to be there next season with a different manager almost. So
yeah.
it was almost no point wishing the season away because nothing was going to change. But with Conte in charge, it feels like there will be a lot of change, which I'm really, really excited about. Conte has finally announced his coaching staff. So I will just read out the coaching staff for those of you that haven't found out yet. So we've got the assistant head coach is Christian Stellini. Now I do apologise if I pronounce these names wrong. Christian Stellini, I believe he's the bald fella that we see on the touchline. We've got Ryan Mason, first team coach. What do you think of the Mason appointment? A nice touch, or do you feel like he's trying to get go, mate?
Oh yeah, I think it's good. I mean, when he stepped in to fill in, when was it, last season? I think he done a good job, and obviously, he's professional about it, young lad. I tell you what, like even if he stays, if he wants to go into coaching further, Ryan Mason, I think he's learning from the best. I mean, he's learned from Mourinho, he's learned from Antonio Conte, or he's learning from Antonio Conte now. So I think he's learning from the best. So
and Poch was there.
Yeah. But as for Spurs fans as well, it's great to see Ryan Mason back there as well.
Do you feel like it was appointment to get the fans on board, or do you feel like Conte was genuinely impressed with Mason?
Well, I don't know. I think if they said Ryan Mason's manager till the end of the season, you'd think I don't think it would have gone down too well with the Spurs fans. But yeah. I think genuinely Conte is impressed. Look, he wants people that are going to be up for it, working for him. I think having Mason there with Conte, I think it'll do good. I think the first team appreciate that as well. I think they get on well with Mason, and I think it's going to be the same for Conte as well.
Yeah, I think with Mason, he's been in the dressing room as a player and now as a manager, so I'm sure he knows about some of the dressing room dynamics. He knows about who are the leaders in the changing room and who could cause trouble, who don't work hard in training. So I'm sure he'll be having a word with Conte and be like, oh yeah, best keep an eye on this one. And I don't think Dele Alli's trying as hard. I'm only giving an example. I'm not picking on Dele. The other member of the coaching team we've got is Gianluca Conte, who is his brother, I think.
I guess Oh yeah,
brother-in-law. Was definitely a family relation. He's the technical and analytics coach. That one excites me. So I'm interested to see how he gets on. I think Dele Alli said that Nuno focuses much more on Tottenham and what they were doing compared to the opposition. So it'll be interesting to see if Spurs now focus a lot more on your position, and then maybe the lineups will change a lot more depending on the opposition. I mean, our squad is very, very thin, so I'll be interested to see does he rotate personnel throughout the season. The other this is what everyone's really happy about. Conte has brought with him 3 fitness coaches. I mean, I think we need about 10 fitness coaches to be honest with you, but we'll have to be happy with 3. We've got Constantino Corratti, Juan Piero Vetroni, and Stefano Bruno. So 3 fitness coaches. I wouldn't want to let any of them down. They all look, hard as nails. So they all look secretly like they're part of the mafia. So I'm really excited to see how they get on, and especially with the international break coming up now, a good opportunity for players like Bergwijn and Ndombele, even Brian Hill to maybe get his fitness levels up a bit more.
Interrupt you there. I think Steven Bergwijn's just been called up to the Dutch squad.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
but yeah, whoever is left, maybe Lucas Moura. I mean, I don't think he's been called up.
Ndombele as well be a great one to work with.
Yeah, I really hope Ndombele comes good. And finally, the first team goalkeeper has not been announced yet. So during the international break, that's probably one position we will find out who that will be. Not sure if it'll be someone English or someone Italian. So could even be Nuno Espirito Santo as the goalkeeping coach.
It was a goalkeeper. Yeah, it was someone like Cudicini.
Good shout. That's a very good shout.
Yeah, or even would they bring back Michel Vorm? I don't think they would.
I've had enough of Vorm. Jim and Roy have just both said that the Conte is his brother, so that clears that one up. Right. So should we move on to the game then? Or is there anything else you want to talk about Conte? We did see that Nuno released a little statement today. Did you read Nuno's statement?
Yeah, I read it briefly. Yeah, by the looks of it, he looked like he was a bit disappointed that it never worked out. I think he really wanted to do well at Spurs. I think he really meant it, but I think the move was just wasn't the right one for him in the first place. I think he just had a big opportunity and thought he did take it with both hands, but it just never worked out. But yeah, I mean, he wished us all well, and we wish him well as well. So, but like I said, I think he'll be back in management soon, I reckon, whether it be in England or whether it be in somewhere like Italy, Spain, Germany, wherever. But yeah, I'm sure he'll, wherever he goes, he'll do well.
Do you think Nuno truly believed he could turn it around, or would you think it was more wishful thinking?
Well, I generally believe he could have turned it around. I mean, he turned things around at Wolves. I mean, they were, when he took over, I think they were like, bottom of the half in Championship, but then a year later, they were in the Premier League, and he absolutely turned it around massively there, pumped a lot of positive energy around the club, and brought in some good players as well. I mean, brought in Ruben Neves to a Championship club. So
yeah, that was really impressive.
So he definitely had a vision, and I think he had the same at Spurs. But I think the vision we're trying to aim for is bigger than what Championship side Wolves were. But I don't know, it just didn't work out in the end. It just wasn't really a match made in heaven there. So yeah, but we move on. We move on with Conte.
We've got a lot to get through tonight, so we won't be putting every single comment on board. But I think this is a brilliant comment here by Jim. Nuno said, "Thanks to the fans, but not the players." And I found that really, really interesting. Not one person, not even the club captain, Hugo Lloris, not even Harry Kane, no one said thank you to Nuno on Instagram or enough. So it is something must have happened. And to me, I didn't feel like the players were playing for Nuno, and Nuno's not even thanked the players on social. So I don't know if something went down or it just wasn't a perfect match. But it was really interesting that he didn't thank the players. But like I said, I do wish Nuno well. He just wasn't a Tottenham manager at the end of the day, was he? So one more thing then before we review Everton. Do you think Antonio Conte would be manager if we beat United, or do you think Nuno will still be in the job?
I think Nuno. I mean, if we'd avoided defeat against United last week, even a draw, I think he still would have been in the job. Yeah, I think if he got a result against Everton yesterday, but then again, I think the next dismal game he'll play, his job would be on the line. It just felt like his job was always on the line from match day one.
Mm.
So I don't know. I just felt like his job was never safe in the first place. It was a cheap appointment for a reason.
I think when he split squads up, the first team squad and the reserves, I think that was the end of him after that, especially for both teams to lose their games.
Yeah.
He always played both his cards and he lost both hands. And I think that was definitely the end of him. Let's look at Everton yesterday and then 0-0. Back to a 3 at the back. Are you happy now with a 3 at the back?
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as the tactics work, yeah, for sure. But then again, we looked quite weak and exposed with 2 at the back. So I remember Poch briefly played 3 at the back as well. If it was for Tom Gonaldo, Alderweireld and Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like that was working. So yeah, I think going back to a 3, I think it depends who he plays at the back. I mean, obviously Romero done a good job yesterday. For me, at the back yesterday, really impressive was Ben Davies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he was really solid at the back yesterday. I think Dyer did okay. I think all 3 of them did pretty well altogether, really.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the fullbacks as well, getting forward was good. But yeah, I think in the midfield there, I think we are too defensive. You know, skipping Højbjerg. Need someone like an Ndombele who can bring the ball forward. And obviously the attackers as well need to get a grip, Kane especially.
Yeah. But yeah, we've got to let. I mean, it's Conte's first game, or first Premier League game. There's a lot to take in and acknowledge with the lineup. So yeah, 3 at the back. Davis obviously at left centre back. It's very, very obvious why he was left centre back, being left-footed. There's no real alternatives, is there? And you can't really play Reggie on that left centre back. I mean, it's got to be, it's got to be Ben Davis. I remember, funny enough, when Tottenham played Bentelev at left back away at Everton one couple, or probably 5, 6, 7 years ago now. But yeah, also Dyer and Romero. Is that what you'd go for 3 at the back going forward with Spurs with them 3? Would you go for, or would you put in a Sanchez over Dyer, a Tanganga, a Rodon?
Well, I wouldn't have gone for Davis first choice. I mean, I would have gone for someone. Maybe Sanchez would have been. I think he's left-footed. I think Sanchez would have fitted in at that left centre-back role there. He's got the pace as well, so I think I would have gone for him. I think Tanganga would suit that system as well. But I don't know. Again, if our defenders can really step up and just do well under Conte and this system, then yeah, why not? Why not play them? Even Joe Rodon. I think Rodon maybe could even suit this system. But yeah, I think we just need to see his early days yet. I mean, some of them are out to impress the manager. Who's to say the next game they're going to, just go back to their usual selves.
One thing a lot of people in the media have mentioned is that Conte likes to have quite a tight-knit squad. So he doesn't actually like to change the 11 that much. I think, like when you talk about the Premier League winning side with Chelsea, you could probably name that 11 right now. I mean, it wouldn't be far off. I mean, there must have been only a tight knit of 13 players. It wasn't a 23-man squad effort. It was a very, very tight knit squad. Yeah, what did you make of the substitutions then? Doherty coming on and Lo Celso coming on. Do you think we could have gone for it a bit more? Maybe Bergwijn at left wing back, or do you feel like you're just experimenting? More like just putting them out there, giving them a test.
Yeah, I think some of these players have obviously impressed in training. I mean, Doherty coming on, for example. I mean, we haven't seen him for weeks because every time he has played, he's been poor. But I think he did all right. I think he did okay when he came on. It looks like he's playing at left wing back as well.
Mm-hmm.
But again, yeah, I just think some of these fringe players, Davis and Doherty, both doing pretty well. So, we can get a few more of our fringe players stepping up. We'll come on to Vitesse in a minute because I think Harry Winks was okay when he came on against Vitesse as well.
Yeah.
But if he can get someone like Dele Alli scoring again, I think, most of these players look like they want to play. I mean, the report from Alistair Gold today saying that all these players look like they really get on with Conte. It looks like they're really impressed with the training. And the chance of it, it's what they want. It's what they've needed. They want to be put tested and really put to their challenges. and probably just felt undervalued recently under Nuno. So. But again, I think he has, like you said, Tel. I think it's just testing the waters out at the minute, testing who's going to fit the system, and then we'll see. Hopefully, he'll have his regular starting 11. I think that's what Nuno tried. I think he found his best starting 11, but then sort of declined a bit, and then he tried rotating it again. It just never worked out. But we'll see. We'll see what I don't know what his best starting 11 would be just yet. I think everyone's got a chance to prove themselves. Like now's the time to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we're saying about we don't know his best starting 11. Whether or not Oliver Skip is in that starting 11, he is now suspended for the Leeds United game.
Yeah.
So we won't be seeing this Skip and Højbjerg pivot, whatever you want to call it, or two defensive mids. So who would you put next to Højbjerg then for the Leeds game?
It'd be Ndombele.
Would you trust Ndombele to match the intensity though of like Leeds and their pressing like for 90 minutes?
Well. I mean, I'll go for Ndombele. I mean, because he has got the strength. I mean, sometimes he doesn't show it, but he has got the strength, and he can play sort of defensive mid, and he can play a bit more attacking as well, and a bit more creativity in the middle as well, which we lacked severely again against Everton, and the passing in the final third was poor.
Yeah, no, totally agree with you.
Abysmal. So I just feel like Ndombele, someone can bring the ball forward. He has got a killer pass in him. I've seen it a few times this season, but that pass is just always getting blocked off and getting read too well by the opposition. But I feel like if he can get his passing right, I think he'll chip in with some assists and hopefully give the service that the strikers need. But I personally would go for Ndombele alongside Højbjerg. I don't know who you'd go for, Tel. Would it be the same, Ndombele?
I think I'd go a bit different. Of course, I expect the three at the back still. It's probably a bit of a controversial one. I'll probably end up going Winks and Højbjerg, and then Ndombele in front. So at least Ndombele doesn't have to do the tracking back as much. Winks could be in there as a security blanket. But yeah, I think that's what I could see. Maybe, obviously Skip suspended. I could see Lucas dropping out the side, and then Ndombele behind Son and Kane. That's just my opinion. I think, like I said, he's trying to get to know the squad better. We'll probably see. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a few players who are stuck with Conte at the training ground start the Leeds game because he'll get to know him a lot more. I know Conte's currently sleeping at the training ground as well. So he must be living, breathing football right at this minute. What do you think?
Yeah, they said that yesterday on a commentary. They said he is someone who's just obsessed with football, and that's why he's a top coach. He's a serial winner because he keeps going and going and going. He keeps bettering himself every time. He's not one of them ones who says, "I've won a trophy. It's time to relax." He doesn't quit. The bloke. He just does not quit. He keeps going, keeps getting better and better, and finds a way to keep improving. Even a winning side, someone who does keep winning. So, yeah, I think that's the manager we need. Sort of manager we've needed for a long time since Pochettino. But yeah, I think with Conte in the team, I hope he's like I said. I just hope he's one of them ones who brings the best out of some of these fringe players as well, and hopefully they can step up and become a valuable member to the team.
Yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see what happens with like the Sessegnon and your Jack Clark, and then even like I'm not expecting like Dane Scarlett to play much, but at least see what happens with him in the first team squad. I want to come on to the fullbacks. What did you make of the fullbacks yesterday? I think both of them, Reguilon and Emerson, come closest to scoring for Spurs. Emerson had the header, should have buried it really, at least at the target. And then I think Reguilon had one coming around the back post at the end of the first half. Again, off target. I think Reguilon had another chance. He put it onto his right foot and he got blocked away for a corner by Michael Keane. What have you made of the fullbacks? Okay defensively, but going forward, I think we need a little bit more end product from him.
Yeah, I reckon so. I think if Reguilon and Royale were both regular scoring fullbacks, I think we'd have some decent players because Walker, Danny Rose both scored goals from their positions. Mm-hmm. We saw that, and that's what we need. If they were regular goal scoring fullbacks, it'd be they'd had some goals to the team. I mean, we saw that at Chelsea under Conte. I think it was who do we say? Azpilicueta and Marcus Alonso. I mean, scored plenty of goals under Conte. So if we get the same for Reguilon and Royale, then it'd be magic, absolutely magic. But yeah, them chances yesterday. I mean, Reguilon had acres when that ball came over. I mean, I know it came over a bit too fast. Then obviously your first instinct is to just hit it one, just hope it just goes in the back of the net. But like I said, he's not a regular. He hasn't scored a goal for us yet. But I think if he was scoring on a regular basis, then I reckon he would have scored that. But and the same for Royale. I think Royale was just a little bit unlucky there. But yeah, like you said, both good chances. I think looking back at it, I think Reguilon should have maybe taken a touch, or was it too powerful for him to control it? Do you think?
I think he was stretching a little bit, but one thing to say, we've got Emerson, Reguilon, and Ben Davis. Ben Davis got forward well against Vitesse, contributed to the third goal, and Ben Davis had that powerful effort yesterday, just wide of the post. But it's a lot more positive to see them pushing up and actually getting in these positions. Where before, like especially even under the Mourinho, everyone was so defensive. We've never ever going to attack with the defense. It was literally Son and Kane past the halfway line and everyone else behind. So at least we are seeing plays in better positions. They just need to work on their finishing. I do feel that if we are behind in the game, maybe we would see like Bergwijn come on for Reguilon to play like a left wing back. Same with Lucas Moura. Maybe he would come on for Emerson to play right wing back if we are in desperate need for a goal. Do you see Matt Doherty fighting for the right wing back position with Emerson? Or is it...
Yeah, I could see it. I think, like I said, I think all these players now have got opportunity to make a name for themselves now under Conte. I think by the sounds of it, they all really want to start playing for the team again. Really start Conte, and Conte's manager is going to give people chances, but I think some of these players have got literally up until January, and if they've not performed well up until January, then obviously they'll be out the door. So but I think, but yeah, why not? I think Doherty. The same goes for Davis. The same goes for Winks. Same goes for Dele. Same goes for Lo Celso. I mean, we need to talk about Lo Celso.
Do we have to?
You know what? Got to a point. I've given him chances after chances, and I've basically said, look, Lo Celso is a good player, and I would like him to see him do well. But do you know what? Every time I've watched him, it's been disappointing, really disappointing. I mean, that corner was absolutely piss poor yesterday. It's late on in the match, and you can't even lift it over the first man.
Get lift off the floor. Let alone the first man.
I saw. Who was it? I saw a video in the away end. Someone taking a corner, and I see the reactions from the fans. They waved like they said, "What was that sort of thing?" That was the reaction. All going mad because the corner was just really poor. And I'll tell you what, though, he was unlucky with that effort that come off the post.
Yeah,
really unlucky. But what do you make of Lo Celso? Because for me, I feel like he won't be there next season.
I've had enough really. There's so many players I've had enough of. They're almost like fighting against each other. Who's the worst? I've had enough of Lo Celso, Ndombele, Doherty, Dele, Bergwijn. I'm just fed up. But I don't even of course I want him to come good again. Harry Kane. I'm fed up with Kane right now.
Yeah, Kane, just can't be asked.
But yeah, of course I want Conte to shake him up a bit. But what frustrates me with Lo Celso is that for Argentina he seems to do all right. So so if he's getting in the Argentina squad, he's like statistically, in the top 25 best Argentina players in the world right now. But what we're seeing, I don't know what Premier League side team he'd get in. Like I don't know what position he is. He feels like another Gedson Fernandez almost. Like I don't know if he's a number 10 or deep lying playmaker. I really don't know what to make of him. But if we could loan him out in January and get him some, like even if it was for Jesse Lingard, I'd take that straight away. Just someone a bit more energy. There's so many players who are taking instead of Lo Celso right now. You just look at like a James Ward-Prowse. At least they can take a free kick. But taking Lo Celso out of the squad, I don't think we lose anything. and like if he doesn't start, it's not like Lo Celso would have buried that. Oh, it's like I just don't feel he's got anything we're gonna miss if he was to leave. What about you?
Yeah, same. I think, I think probably a loan move would do him. I think maybe just go back to Spain because he looked like he was doing well in Spain when he was playing for Betis. The thing is, though, he could play for a top team in Spain. He could go to someone like Sevilla and even Atletico Madrid, Valencia, even. He'd fit in well at some of them clubs. But yeah, the Premier. I don't know who he would play for in the Premier League. I don't even think he'd even play for Everton.
No.
But yeah, it's a strange one with Lo Celso. I think again, if he can step up under Conte, then yeah, all well and good. But I mean, there's been times we've seen him. He does well, and then he gets injured, and then when he is like fully fit, he's just disappointing player to watch now.
Yeah, when I watch him, I feel like someone's pulling his shirt back. He never feels like he's actually sprinting. Like I can't actually picture in my head him running full sprint. Same with Ndombele and same with Dele Alli. I can't actually vision them running. I don't know what it is of them. It feels like they're running in mud. But yeah, let's talk about Heung-min Son yesterday. Not quite at the races, but of course, we have to take into account all the booing. Do you think the booing had an effect on Sonny yesterday? I mean, he's quite a happy guy,
Yeah, probably. They're still like holding a grudge when he took Andre Gomez's ankle out of his place. But I mean, look, this is like what 3 years ago now. I mean, blimey, just drop it, I mean, it's like when who was it? When Ryan Shawcross plays for Stoke against Arsenal.
Eduardo.
No, this
Ramsey.
was Owen Ramsey, I think it was.
Mm.
I don't think he got sent off or anything, but yeah. But I think what happened. I think what rubbed salt into the wound. Did he score the winner against them?
Yeah.
He injured their player and then he scored a goal against them. Yeah, and I think Arsenal fans just hate him since. But yeah, but saying about the booing, I don't know. It's obviously they just want to boo him I think they just want to boo him not because of the fact of the injury to Gomez. I think it's just the fact that that he's just putting off our best player. I guess. I think we'll all do it. We all do it. We team plays who we play against, we just boo their best players at times, just put them off. So yeah, it probably did get to Sonny.
I'm not saying he's their best player, but we always used to boo Charlie Adam. I remember he
Yeah.
always used to go for Bale's ankles. Bale was always out after a Charlie Adam dangerous tackle. Let's see what else I've got written down. The penalty. What did you make of the penalty decision? Was it a pen for you?
Oh, I don't know. Well, my initial reaction for when I was watching, I said Luis has won the ball. But we'll get on to Richarlison in a minute because my God, he was driving me nuts yesterday. But yeah, the penalty it was a tight one, really tight. I think literally when I watched the VAR replay, it looked like Luis got that with his fingertip. Yeah, really subtle touch. But obviously not a penalty, so I'll take the decision. But yeah, it was a crazy one, and just lucky to get away with it. I think without the VAR, obviously that stands as a penalty.
What did you make of the referee's performance yesterday in general? I'm not a big fan of that referee. Like, I don't know.
I can't remember his name because someone was saying it was Stuart Atwell, but it wasn't Stuart Atwell. Was it Kavanagh?
Yeah, Kavanagh. Chris Kavanagh.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. I think he got a lot of. I think the players didn't help him a lot. I mean, every time they was touched, their players, especially Richarlison, every time they was just touched, it was like, ref this, ref that. It was just. I think he was under pressure. It was just a game of like, you touch them and then just fall on the floor. But I think he had a tough match yesterday. The ref obviously sent off Holgate as well. For me, when I saw the initial challenge, I just thought, just normal challenge there. But then I looked at it again, and I actually said before they even went to the VAR, he beat her off the grounds, studs her up. I went, that could be a possible red there. And then, sent Holgate off. Didn't make a difference, but
he should have. Yeah, I mean, if it was quite a nice position for a free kick. I don't even remember what happened with the free kick. I'm guessing Lo Celso took it, but I can't even remember that when something get free kick.
I think Lo Celso took it. Not much happened. I think he hit the wall and went wide somewhere.
Speaking of red cards, of course, Romero got sent off in the week. What did you make of Romero yesterday with the not a headbutt, but he moved his head forward towards Richarlison.
Yeah, I think they've just been at each other's ears all match. I think apparently they're like that in South America. You know, Brazilians, Argentinians, all like that. But Romero's got a mouth on him, and I think Richarlison has as well. So it's like two volcanoes meeting.
Yeah, I
And
think the referee done well. He understood what was happening. It wasn't
just really hit up between the pair of them. So I mean, he's a mouthy sod anyway. That Richarlison, and obviously Romero. Is like the same, but yeah, I think Romero's just doing his job as a defender, just sort of keeping the strikers quiet. But yeah, strange one. It's the clash of heads. It's a funny one because yeah, you know, sometimes they can look at that and send the player off who causes it first off.
So let's round up Everton quickly then. We'll finish off with Harry Kane. What did you make of Kane yesterday?
Again, he's just looked you know, just looked flat. Just don't look interested again. But we've been saying that for a couple of weeks. Well, a good few weeks now. Still doesn't look interested. Still doesn't look like he's trying. I don't know. I wouldn't say he's not trying. I'd say I think he's a bit frustrated not getting the service. Maybe, and probably it's just showing. And obviously, it just shows he can't do it on his own.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, but you know, this is our goal scorer, our goal scoring striker, and he's not doing all that great. So yeah, it's a strange one with Kane. I don't know where his head's at the minute. I don't know if he's still got his heart set on a move away in January. Maybe he does want to move in January. That's why he's not performing. But his goal return so far this season, I think it's been the worst since he's become like a regular starter for Spurs. Yeah. I believe.
Do you think Spurs would be more attacking, like create more chances with a creative midfielder or with a different striker up front? So say for Kane, so take Kane out, put Vlahovic in, or say putting Kevin De Bruyne on, just for example. What do you think? What would create more chances? A new striker or a creative mid?
Well, I don't know. It's a tough one, really, because I'd say we definitely need a creative midfielder for sure. Because with the creative mid, obviously we were scoring a lot of goals under Kane. But I mean, I've seen without the creative mid that Kane does score. And sometimes we've said to him, you know, does Kane actually need a creative mid? He does it all on his own.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a strange one, really. I think yeah, with the creative mid, it does help a lot. Someone who can hold the ball up, someone who can find that killer pass to our attackers. But I think the attackers don't attack much either. I find they just don't get in the right positions. What do you make of it?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's where, especially under Conte, the fullbacks are going to play an important part. It's amazing why or how did Ben Davis, Emerson, Reguilon get in better positions than Son, Kane, and Lucas. It's bizarre how it's happening right now. But yeah, let's wrap up Everton then. Overall, I mean, not the perfect start for Conte, but was you happy with a point in the end?
Well, I said, I think we said last week, I said I'll probably take a point. I'll take a draw because things aren't going to get rosy straight away under day one. I think when Conte comes in, you know, it's still a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
I think it's still got a bit of work to do. He's still got some players to wake up and, you know, get them kicking once again. So yeah, I think this Conte system, I think it's just going to take a bit of time. But obviously, I think I was expecting that anyway. But yeah, I think he has got a lot of work to do. He needs to find out who's really up for the system and who's not. So yeah, obviously it's work to do under Conte. So yeah, but I mean the draw's not a terrible result. I mean we're still only 4 or 5 points from the top 4. So as long as we start winning soon, I think the wins will come. They will come eventually, probably not straight away. I mean, we've got Leeds at home next, and hoping we should win that. So, well, yeah, we'll see. I think it's just going to take a bit of time under Conte.
One thing we should be said is we did show a lot of fight. I mean, we didn't create much, but you know the players did stand up and be counted yesterday. There was a lot more. I think we would have lost that under Nuno. You know?
Yeah, I think we would have lost that under Nuno. But I think the squad yesterday, they did put up a big fight, especially in the middle there. I mean, Skip getting involved, Højbjerg getting involved, even Davis, Dyer, Romero. Emerson, all of them just really getting stuck in yesterday. It was just good to see that. You know, really see that, like really, like laying to the opposition there. So no, it was good. It's good to see that, and hopefully along that continues.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on to Vitesse. Tottenham Hotspur 3, Vitesse 2. I was at the game for that one. You watched that one at home?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you make of it on the box?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously the opening few minutes and all that's just nice. Just really nice to see that attacking flair once again. Nice to see the players really bombing forward, scoring 3 goals in half hour, and then conceding 2 in 8 minutes after that in the 8 minutes. So yeah, quite an entertaining first start, to be honest with you. I know Conte said want to bring entertainment back at Tottenham, but I mean that was a bit too entertaining.
Yeah,
but it was good. It was just good to see some attacking flair, and obviously getting some goals as well. Kane still can't score. I mean that goal there, I think, was an own goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what was the atmosphere like?
It was absolute bizarre atmosphere. Got to the ground in the concourse. Everyone was in good spirits. Quite a few Italian flags about. Of course, the top tier was closed halfway around the stadium. I was cheering on Conte when he was like on the dugout. Someone tapped me on the shoulder, asking me to sit down. When everyone was clapping Conte, someone told me to sit down. So it was a weird type of fans there, like the other night. So that was strange. And then there's a lot of crowd trouble for Vitesse. I watched the game back after, and Genius did give it a little mention, but the crowd trouble went on for the whole 90 minutes. They were fighting a lot of the people, Spurs fans in the private suites, trying to climb over. There was a lot of racism going on, Nazi salutes.
Wow.
And I've got a picture on my phone. I'm not sure if you've seen it. There was one fan doing like the Chinese eyes in front of the sun.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it went on all game, and there was stupid amount of police in the Vitesse end having to box them in. They weren't letting them go anywhere until the end of the game.
Oh.
So I do think that had an influence on the first half, because once it all kicked off, once we were 3-0 up. So once that happened, I think the Spurs players did keep looking over. It was really bizarre game, and with the Romero early red in the second half, the game really lost its toll, and it's a really hard game to judge on the player performance. The red card affected it, and then Vitesse having their men sent off and the keeper. That was just a strange game where people run on the pitch as well. But I have to say, the first 20 minutes, we knocked the ball about really well, a lot quicker. Fullbacks were making a lot of space, which was good to see. And I'm really impressed with Lucas's goal. The ball's knocked around really quick, and he almost had got the free run from the halfway line, and it's a very nice finish. So yeah, it was a nice counter attack, and it was good to see a lot of space there. But yeah, just a strange game. I don't think we can take much from that game apart from the 3 points, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised about the Vitesse behaviour. I don't know. I don't know if I'm surprised or not, but I think I was under the impression that Dutch fans were quite good fans. You know, I mean, well, like Ajax, for example. I think well, not just the fans. I mean, the players. I thought their players were really dirty and really fouling all the time. You know, but I've noticed that quite a bit from Dutch football recently. I mean, I noticed teams like Feyenoord, PSV, you know, they all play like that. The fans, I thought, you know, I never thought that much from the fans. I thought they were quite, like, you know, well-supported club. It's like Ajax when they came to London that time, you know. I mean, they was up the city, up the West End.
Yeah.
And all just in a big crowd, big number there. And but when they come to the stadium, you know, there was no trouble there, not that I saw anyway. The same for PSV as well. There's no trouble there. I mean, we went to PSV that time, and
fine.
You know, there's no trouble there.
Yeah,
there's no trouble there. But yeah, Vitesse. I know we've had a bit of trouble with Feyenoord in the past, but I think everyone's had a bit of trouble with them. But yeah, I think. But yeah, the game itself was a strange one, like you said. Conte's first game. Romero sent off. Their goalkeeper gets. I mean, let's talk about that goalkeeper's red card. I mean, it was blatantly obvious. I know it's natural instinct for a goalkeeper to come out and say, like, you know, sort of do that. But even if he had his arms behind his back there and just try and save it with his chest or his head or so, or even his legs. But I mean, the chances are, I think Royale was going to chip the goalkeeper, and it was going to go in the back of the net. But yeah, and again, Lo Celso missed a close range effort as well.
Oh, mate, honestly, yeah. I was tweeted it the other day. He's becoming the new Sissoko. Like
Yeah,
if he scores,
yeah, I think he is becoming the new Sissoko. Yeah, but the difference is Sissoko ran. You know, he could run and take on
he
defenders.
tried. Yeah,
But Lo Celso just looks like he ain't got the strength.
but he had the 1-on-1 against Burnley as well in the Carabao Cup, and
Yeah,
shot straight at Nick Pope. I mean, I don't want to repeat myself on the Celso, but yeah, I mean, Conte's got to, like we say, he's got to try out the squad, see who's up for it, see who isn't, and then of course look at the gaps and try and fill them gaps in January. But I mean, can you imagine if we don't actually buy a creative midfielder in January? I mean,
well, creative midfielder and a backup striker. I think they're the two main things we need. A couple of our someone said a couple of the players we was linked with recently, Frank Kessie, Stephen DeFree.
yeah.
Someone said they were really poor in their matches the other day. I think it was the Milan derby.
Mm-hmm.
One plays for Inter and the other plays for AC, and someone said the pair of them were really poor. One of them just looked like he just went up for it, like just strolling about, and the other one, conceded a goal from a set piece.
Yeah.
So,
you'll fit in at Spurs.
all day long, yeah. But yeah, so I think we, I don't know, maybe the transfer talk's gone to their heads, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Question is, did these players read transfer news? Do they wake up one morning and read Twitter or social media and say, "Oh, I've been linked with a move away to, I don't know, Manchester City," and they say, and then they lose interest in the club they play for? Do you reckon that happens?
100%. I think I feel like the Kessie player. I think there must be something a bit more concrete with that one. There was a lot of reports about the Kessie, so
yeah,
maybe
I don't know if that'd be a January move or summer because he's only got 6 months left on his contract.
yeah. So I definitely feel Paratici or someone's definitely had a word with him. But it's exciting for us. I feel like a lot of players from Serie A and these Italians would be interested in the project now at Spurs to work with Conte and the Premier League and London and the new stadium and the training facilities. You know, there's a lot there to attract these players, and yeah, so it is exciting times. I was speaking to my dad earlier. One player that we haven't heard much of since the summer was that Damsgaard. Do you remember Damsgaard?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've just not heard nothing about him playing like for Sampdoria. I've not heard any transfer rumours, so I'm not sure what happened to him. Well, yeah.
No, I haven't heard nothing either. I didn't hear nothing like, more or less up until deadline day.
Yeah.
Summer transfer deadline day anyway. I didn't hear nothing then. It's like we didn't sign him, and then after that, nothing. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're going for him. I reckon he'd be a long-term target, though. I mean, it's not a case of like, if we don't get him now, we'll get him next season. If we don't get him next season, it'll be the season after. So, I mean, he's still a young lad learning his development, a bit like Brian Gill. I think that's why they never signed him, because obviously we got Brian Gill.
Yeah.
So I think it's not really much rush there for Damsgaard to come in. But my plan would be if we decide to move on Lucas Moura or Steven Bergwijn, I reckon he'll come in.
Yeah, I think my dad said that earlier, and I think a few people on social media said it, that Conte's probably going to sell someone that we're a bit unhappy about, but we have to be on board with Conte and trust Conte.
Yeah,
so
we have
if a popular player does go, we have to think, yeah, we're supporting Conte here, so we've got to be on board with it now, whatever the decision is.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this earlier. There's probably going to be one or two players who are probably going to be moving on, whether in January or at the summer, and these are probably players that we are going to rate. So someone like Lucas Moura, because he's a fan favourite, Lucas Moura.
Yeah.
But if Conte says he's not in my plans for next season, he needs to move on, or even I don't know. There was even talks about maybe Oliver Skip being dropped.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, you might say Højbjerg and Skip. I saw that, but I can't see it.
No, I personally, I think Conte actually said himself he rates Skip a lot and said he'll be a player for the long term. But I don't know. There might be one or two odd players who could probably move on. I mean, Joe Rodon, I think, is a bit of a fan favourite as well. They might probably sell him. Well, probably loan him in January because he ain't kicking a ball at the minute, is he? I mean, there's talks about more defenders coming in January. So, but yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Rodon. I think a loan move would suit him. But I like him. I think he's a good player. And the same could probably be said for Tanganga as well. Maybe a loan move. But it depends who comes in. It depends what players will come in. I also want to point out as well about this appointment, actually, while it's on mind. So Conte has obviously signed an 18-month contract which runs out in 2023. When Pochettino signed his new deal, a 5-year contract, that was up until 2023. Mourinho signed a contract up till 2023. And Nuno signed a contract up until 2023. What's sort of 2023 all about, do you reckon?
It's either ENIC are selling up or it's more something to do with balancing the books. But I don't see it as a coincidence. To put Conte on specifically 18 months is very, very precise. Like you could have gone 2 years or whatever. So, yeah, there could be something there. Well, let's just wrap up the Vitesse game quick and the Conference League. So we've got Rennes, the last game at home, but we've got Mora away next. If we win both the games, we do top the group. If we come second, I think we've got a playoff against a team from the Europa League. So, so you don't automatically get through for the second game. But Webb, I ask you every time, what's your thoughts now on the Conference League? Do you want us to go through? Do you think Conte would try and win this trophy?
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, I reckon he would go for it, definitely. I think, like I said, Conte's a manager driven on by success. And yeah, he'd go for anything. Any competition he's in, I think he'll go for it. Like the Conference League, I think would be a nice start. But yeah, I think if we can at least top the group, it'd be good because it's just one less game to worry about. So I think when you top the group, you don't play again till
you're through.
Yeah, you're basically through. I don't know if they did the last 32 or the last 16 or whatever it is, but you won't have the playoff match. So, but I'd rather. I mean, yeah, if we qualify, then yeah, it's all good. Obviously, we've qualified with the squad that we've got, but I think if we can top the group, be even better, and hopefully we can go far, if not all the way in this competition.
I do feel it's actually a tougher group than people realise. Even Tottenham, like Rennes have got quite a good young team. They've got some a really good academy, and Vitesse, they weren't no mugs either. I mean, they beat our second team, but that was our first team on Thursday night, and we still just about got over the line. So I don't think these teams are mugs. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see the Mora game away, how we could turn up there.
Yeah, you got the team from I think they're Norwegian, Bodo Glimt.
Yeah, amazing.
Won that time. I think they got a draw against them in the return fixture.
Yeah, 2-2.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think there must be actually some good teams in there, and there must be some quality players there. I mean, this is probably what the tournament was made for, not just for money and teams, but there must be some quality talent in some of these sides who you probably won't get to see. Like, we're never going to watch Norwegian football. You know what I mean? So I've never even heard of that team. Was it Bold?
They're I've read briefly about them. I don't know how long they've been about for, but basically I think they won the Norwegian title last year or the year before that, and basically they got 100 points.
Yeah. They beat Malmo.
No, Malmo.
Mal. Aren't they Norwegian?
Norwegian. No, Malmo are from Sweden.
Oh, my bad. Go on.
Yeah, no, Norwegian. You've got teams like Rosenborg and Tromsø.
Tromsø, yeah, I remember Tromsø. Yeah.
And there's a few other Norwegian clubs there, but this Bodo team, they're like the Man City. they just absolutely they score for fun. Better teams in their league, and from what I know, I think they are the current Norwegian champions at the moment.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't fancy a team like that. I mean, especially a home fixture.
Yeah. I mean, that's where the opportunities have been limited for Rodon and Tanganga, Doherty, because the Conference League we're struggling. If we won the first 3 games, you could have, played a bit more of the youth, but the second string team isn't good enough, is it? So,
No.
I mean, if the first team is debatable right now, so until we won't actually be able to get through in the group unless we win both games. So there won't be much chance for rotation, despite the fact we're allowed 5 subs. So we're gonna have to go for it against more.
Well, I think the only way you're going to rotate the side is if you're like 4 or 5 nil up by the 60th minute, and then you think, right, you've done your job, off you come and bring on some couple of young players. But I think that's the only way at the minute they're going to get the opportunity.
Yeah. So if we win both the games, more away and Rennes at home, we do top the group. But I think
unless Rennes lose to Vitesse.
Vitesse. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Second in the group. I think Vitesse are only a point behind us.
Yeah.
But we win. I think we go level on points actually with Rennes. Yeah, I think you could be right. So I think no matter what happens, we have to win both matches.
Yeah, I think that was the easiest way that I saw it.
But I'm trying to see if there's a technical way around it, but I don't think there is personally.
So we've got the international break then coming up. There'll be a few players staying home. Who are you most looking forward to seeing then work under Conte? Who do you think will benefit the most in this 2 weeks?
Who would benefit the most? What the current players now, or the ones that are away on national duty?
Yeah, the players that will be staying at home.
Who do I think could do well? It's a tough one. I think I think Ndombele hopefully will step up. I think this is make or break now for Ndombele. This is what 4th manager. And he's had top managers. He's had Pochettino, Mourinho, and now Conte. Now, if Conte can't get a tune out of him, then we might as well give up with him. But I feel for Ndombele, this will be make or break. I'm hoping Dele Alli steps up now. I'm hoping Conte can find a position for him, the right position, and I hope he can do well. I think Brian Gill is one as well. He's not travelling with Spain. I think he's still injured, but I think they said he's going to use this break just to get fit. I think someone said Ryan Sessegnon is going to be near fitness, near returning from injury now. So I'm hoping he can do well under Conte. Be like a new signing. He does well.
One thing I heard on another podcast earlier, a lot of people forget. I mean, it's at the very back of my mind as well. But Ryan Sessegnon's goal away at Bayern Munich was a great finish. Yeah. Remember that? He can finish, and he scored a lot of goals in the Championship a couple of years back.
Yeah.
So he does know where the goal is as a left winger, left mid, left wing back, wherever you want to play him. So he's not like Matt Doherty. Doherty did score a few goals to be fair, but he does know where the goal is, Sessegnon. So there definitely is an opportunity there for him to get into the first team at Spurs.
Yeah, I'd say. I think if Sessegnon can get his fitness up and start doing well, then again, another valuable member to the team. But yeah, as you say, Tel, it's just a thin squad at the minute. But so it's really important that if we can at least try and get some youngsters stepping up. We've gone about him a lot. Dylan Marcandi, I hope he can step up. Dane Scarlett, I can't see too much from Dane Scarlett, but I think a player like Troy Parrott would have done well under Conte. I think he's a bit more experienced now and got some international caps for Ireland as well. So I think he would have been considered a lot. But I think some of the youth players, the ones that don't get called up for the under 21s and the under 19s and that, will also be looked at under Conte while he's there. So there's work to do even with the international break. This will be the last one of the year, the international break. So at last, and after that, right up until about March, is constant football. From this international break to the next one, we'll have the FA Cup as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be in Conference League knockouts.
Yeah, because right now chances are very limited for these fringe players. I mean, you wouldn't fancy playing Makande and Devine against West Ham in the League Cup.
Oh
their
God,
next
no.
their next chance is going to be FA Cup if it's a favourable draw,
Yeah,
or Conference League if we win the first leg convincingly. So yeah, there's not going to be much opportunities straight away. But the best
no.
thing to do is Tottenham to sign for Harlovic and then loan out Dane Scarlett, try and get him some minutes somewhere else. I
Yeah,
mean, that's the best outcome I can see for him right now. Probably the same for Joe Roden. He probably needs a loan. Even if you loan him to Norwich, try and help Norwich out a little bit. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
no.
Um,
But I could see a player like Joe Roden joining Brighton for some reason or other. He's just got that. Just looks like a sort of Brighton player.
the sleeves. It's the sleeves.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's just that look about him. But yeah, I could see Harry Winks going to somewhere like Southampton. I think that'd suit him. And then we get James
Yeah.
Ward-Prowse to return.
Yeah, Harry Winks is a weird one because, like, we didn't mention it in the Vitesse game, but he done all right when he come off the bench. Harry Winks.
Yeah, I thought so. Getting forward a lot more as well. So, but again, yeah, another fringe player who can step up. I hope he does. Well, I hope they all do. You know, they all really need to step up. They've got a top manager playing to play for now. So, you know, and if these boys can't these boys can't step up, then again, just ship them out and give up with them.
Yeah, no, this brings me on to my final point of the evening, and I think it's quite an important one. When we look at the Chelsea side that won the league, and even like this Man City side, they've got. We'll start with Man City. They've got the Rodri, who's he cleans it all up, and then they've got Gundogan, but he does it. He does both. He gets stuck in, but he got like 13 goals from midfield last season,
Yeah,
and he's not he's not a very physical player, but he got forward and. He's not even. You wouldn't even say he's very creative. I wouldn't say Gundogan's got the killer pass in him. I'd say that's you Foden, you De Bruyne, and then with Chelsea, when Chelsea won the league with Conte, you had Fabregas. It was not. Was it Can? I think it was. I think it was Kante and Fabregas. Kante and I'm missing another defensive midfielder. Can't think who it is. Was it Matic? I think Matic.
yeah.
Yeah, so you had Kante and Matic, and then you had Fabregas, who, got stuck in. You wouldn't call Fabregas an attacking midfielder, would you? He's almost in between,
Yeah.
So that's what Spurs are missing. We're missing someone centrally who can chip in with the goals, and we thought it was going to be Dele, but Dele's better off right at the top of the pitch now, almost in line with Harry Kane. Because
I'd say so. I would.
So,
yeah. I think that's his best position.
So I think the player who could be the answer for us is this Pape Sarr to play this Gundogan Fabregas type of role. Someone who can get forward but get stuck in as well. So
I wonder if we can actually call him back in January.
I'd love to. Yeah.
Can we end his loan spell early and bring him back?
We'll give him them Dombele or something. But yeah, who would you like to see in the middle then? If we take away Sarr for a minute, who would you like to see, and who with? Would you rather someone partner Skip or someone partner Højbjerg?
Well, for me, I think the main man in the middle is definitely Højbjerg. I've said for a while he should be the captain. You know, I think having Højbjerg because he's a leader in the middle of the park there. But I don't know. I think Højbjerg would have worked well with someone like Moussa Dembele and Eriksen.
Yeah,
I think having at least one or the other. I mean, he does well with Skip, but Skip's not the sort of player. I mean, look, he's a great player, Skip, but I think going forward, I think we do need a little bit better. We need someone who can go for, like I said, a Moussa Dembele. I tell you what. I thought this earlier. What about seeing a player like Christian Romero playing at defensive mids? Would that work?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking would Dyer end up going back there? I've got a good example. Would be the player who would suit Tottenham would be Basuma. I feel like he's not that defensive, but he's not afraid to go forward as well. He has got that engine in him to get you up the pitch. So I thought Basuma could be the missing answer, but I think that's going to cost silly money.
For creative player as well, staying with Brighton as well, one player I'd love to see play for Spurs is Trossard.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Trossard.
He's he's got a bit of skill to him as well, and he's another one of those players. He's hard to get the ball off as well. He does pop up with a goal from time to time. He's not a goal scorer every time, but he does score in the big matches. I mean, he scored against Liverpool last week.
Yeah.
So he's one of them ones definitely up for the big matches. I think we need a player like that. I think Trossard would be a brilliant signing for Spurs.
Yeah, well, I think every week the numbers are getting worse and worse. Like for Lucas and Bergwijn, their goals to game ratio is awful. Like I think I'm not even sure if Bergwijn scored last season. Did he score last season?
But once it was on the last home game of the season.
Villa.
Yeah.
And then Lucas. I mean, technically Lucas scored this season against Villa, didn't he? But it went down to the target and goal.
Yeah.
So technically, but I think apart from that, I know Lucas's last goal was February. I mean you can't rely on that. I think this is where we're struggling. And it's the same with Harry Kane. You can't take Harry Kane off, one because it's Harry Kane, and two because you've got no one to bring on. So it's just what we're left with. And then we saw it against was it Everton or Vitesse, but the Nuno game against United, he brought on Bergwijn and he brought on Dele. I mean, there's no goals there. I mean, there's just nothing to bring on to change the game right now until January. So it's going to be a very interesting month at Tottenham with Paratici and Conte.
Yeah, but we need signings like immediately. We still need about 3 or 4 signings, I'd say. We probably need one for each position, but yeah, striker, attacking midfielder, and you're probably bringing another defender. I wouldn't say you need another fullback, because I think the fullbacks are quite good, but it depends if one leaves. It depends. Say you sold Matt Doherty, and then you have to bring in another right back. But yeah, I think looking at the squad, it's definitely short of a few numbers there. Like I said, I'd happily bring in Trossard if either Mora or Bergwijn left. So that's the player I'd like to.
It definitely needs freshening up that attacking lineup, doesn't it? I think we've got to a point now where one of Bergwijn or Lucas does have to leave now, because it's so stale with Bergwijn, Lucas, and Dele. It is so stale. When you look at, I know they don't score a lot, but you look at Adama Traore and St. Maximin and Trossard, they are exciting players to watch. But when Lucas, Bergwijn, Dele, Lo Celso, even when they're on the ball, you don't get excited, do you? Because you know what's going to happen. You don't really feel much.
One question for you, Tel. Who would you, if it could be anyone, who would you like us to see sign in January?
I think it's got to be Vlahovic.
Vlahovic.
I mean, it just gives you an option to go 2 up top. Gives an option to rest Kane a bit, rest Son. Yeah, I think Tottenham need to sign a striker where Kane's fighting for his position.
Yeah, I said need a striker where they're going to make Kane fight for his position. Like literally, it could be a case of Kane's not scoring, but the other striker is, and it's be like Kane's being dropped because he's not scoring, but the other man is. So that's the sort of striker we need. And then eventually, when Kane realises he's been dropped, that's when he'll step up.
Yeah,
and you need a selection headache for strikers. It's a nice thing to have.
Because he hasn't fought for his position for club or country for 6-7 years now. Kane, he's got rightly so, because he's world class, but he's getting to a point now where he needs competition and he's just not had it. He's got too comfortable. But yeah, let's wrap it up there then. I'll ask you quickly then, where do you think we're going to finish this season?
Oh, it's a tough one. I think it depends who shows up, who steps up basically, and who comes in January. But if we're hearing the right noises and the right players do come in and everyone starts stepping up, I don't know, probably 7th and above.
So what are you going for? You going for 7th?
Minimum 7th. I think that's how it's looking at the moment. But if things turn around the way they do, then we can get top 4. But it's tough because look, I mean, the top 3 is more or less summed up, and 4th spot is going to be decided between someone like Arsenal, even West Ham, and who's the other team?
United.
United. But again, I think they're going to probably the same as us at the minute. Aiming for top 6, top 7.
Yeah, I think it's a strange one because Leicester have dropped off massively.
And then
we've not capitalised on it much. West Ham are the ones that have capitalised.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, them and Arsenal at the minute. So, but I don't know. West Ham could fade. They always tend to do fade after Christmas. I noticed. They sort of go on a high, like just before around December, and then afterwards it does start going a little bit downhill. So they'll either run out of steam, or they'll just be too high. They'll just realise where they are and then they'll drop again. But I don't know. But the way it's looking for West Ham, it doesn't look like that at the moment. I mean, they got a massive win against Liverpool yesterday.
Yeah, I think that, of course, it's a bit like the Tottenham situation when everyone always said, as long as Harry Kane don't get injured, and it's the same with them and Antonio.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be as dangerous if Antonio does get injured. But yeah, it's a very exciting times at Spurs. We've got a lot of fixtures coming up. I think inside 1 week we've got Brentford at home, Norwich at home, Burnley away. Let's hope for 9 points there. There's a lot of points on the table in December, and we've got a big couple of weeks for Conte. Hopefully he gets some of these players into shape, a lot more tactics drilled. I'm excited to see Brian Gill a lot more as well. Once everyone's back from international break. But looking forward to things under Conte, and just got to keep the faith really, and trust what he does.
I'm looking forward to it as well, but I think it will be. It's only his first league match day yesterday. I know obviously it was only a draw, a 0-0. I mean, it weren't a bored draw by any stretch of imagination, but I think just give it time and the wins will come. Wins will. But yeah, I mean, look, he's coming to a bit of a mess. I think every manager does. I think Mourinho come in when there was a bit of a mess. Nuno's coming out a bit of a mess. So I think it's the same for Conte, and let's just see what happens. But I'm confident we'll do well under Conte. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, it's just a bit more belief, and that's what we've been craving for.
Yeah, exactly that.
But anyway.
But yeah, let's wrap it up then for tonight. Not 100% sure if we're going to do a live stream next week, as it is international break.
Yeah,
there's only so much to talk about.
If anything major news happens, then we'll probably do a podcast. But usually we don't. Just don't talk about the internationals. Can't be asked with it. I'd rather they didn't have to.
I'd rather give you the day off, mate. Rather give you the day off. But we'll see you next week. On if there's any significant Spurs news to talk about. Hopefully Conte isn't sacked, knowing Daniel Levy, but we'll see. But Gary, thanks for joining me again tonight, mate. Like I said, if you can find Gary at Tottenham Mail on Instagram and Twitter. Until then, boys, let's all keep the faith, up the Spurs, and let's get on board Antonio Conte.
Tony Conte's been on my army.
Antonio.
See you later.